You ever get that feeling that your financial life is kind of just happening to you? Well, here's a powerful idea we're going to dig into today. Your finances, they're not an accident. Think of it like a road trip. And the thing is, whether you realize it or not, you are already following a specific map. So let's figure out which one it is.
Okay, so let's start right where you are. Take a quick look at your own financial location on the map. Think about your savings, your debt, where your income's at. Now, be honest with yourself. Is the path you're on right now really leading you to the destination you actually want to get to? Lewis Carroll, the guy who wrote Alice in Wonderland, he absolutely nailed it with this quote. If you don't know where you're going, sure, any road will get you somewhere, but it's almost guaranteed to be a place you never wanted to end up. And it's the exact same thing with your money. Without a real plan, a real destination, you're basically just wandering around financially. All right, so let's talk about your financial GPS. Think about your core beliefs about money. That's your GPS. It's working 24/7 in the background, guiding every single decision you make, often without you even realizing it. And here's the kicker. That GPS is programmed by one of three very, very different roadmaps. And this is really the crucial point right here. Getting wealthy isn't something people just stumble into. And you know what? Neither is being broke. Both of them, wealth and poverty, are the direct result of a process. It's a chain of choices and actions, all guided by that underlying financial roadmap. It's got nothing to do with luck. It's all about the map you're following. And here's exactly how that process works. It's like a chain reaction, right? It all kicks off with your beliefs, what you fundamentally believe about money. Those beliefs, they dictate the choices you make every single day. Then those choices drive your actions. And finally, you add up all those actions and bam, that's your financial life. I mean, think about it. If you believe all debt is evil, you're gonna make totally different choices than someone who believes debt can be a powerful tool. See? It all starts with your beliefs. Okay, so if our beliefs are what program the map, what are the actual maps? Well, it turns out there are really only three of them. Three distinct financial roadmaps that pretty much everyone on the planet is following, whether they know it or not. Let's break them down. And here they are. You've got the Sidewalk, the Slowlane, and the Fastlane. Now look closely at this chart. The really mind-blowing part is that column on the right, the predisposed destination. What this is saying is that each path isn't just a different way to travel. No, it's a route that is hardwired to lead to a very specific outcome. The Sidewalk is built to lead to poorness, the Slowlane to mediocrity, and the Fastlane, that's the one designed for wealth. But wait a second, why? How can a map have a built-in destination? Well, it all comes down to this really cool concept called a map's true essence. Let's dive into what that means. So true essence is just a fancy way of saying the natural state of something, what it wants to do, like a coin. Its true essence is to land on heads or tails about 50-50. Could you flip 15 heads in a row? I mean, maybe, but it's super improbable, right? You'd be fighting its very nature. Well, each of these financial roadmaps has a true essence too, a natural destination that it's constantly pulling you towards. Okay, to make this idea really stick, let's use an analogy. Picture this. You're in Las Vegas at a big, flashy magic show, and on stage there's a lion. It's been trained, it's doing tricks, it seems totally tame, it's completely defying what you'd expect from a lion. But here's the thing, that lion is violating its true essence. Deep down, its natural state is to be a wild, powerful hunter out on the savannah. And that's exactly how these roadmaps work. Could you get rich following the Sidewalk roadmap? Yeah, maybe, just like that lion can perform on a stage. But you're fighting against the very nature of the system, which makes your chances of success incredibly, incredibly slim. So let's get into the mechanics of this a little bit. A great way to think about it is that each roadmap is like its own separate universe. And each of these universes operates under its own unique set of physical laws for how wealth gets created. And in each of these universes, there's a specific wealth equation that's in charge. It's kind of like how E=mc² governs our physical world. Well, these financial equations govern everything about creating wealth on that path. And here's the key. You cannot escape the math of the map you're on. And this chart just shows it perfectly. I want you to picture three sets of railroad tracks, side by side. The Sidewalk track, it's got a speed limit of like 20 miles per hour. The Slowlane track, it's a little better, maybe you can get up to 60. But the Fastlane, man, that's the bullet train, rocketing along at 200 miles per hour. The physics of each map means the speed at which you can build wealth is just worlds apart. So after all that, the most important question comes right back to you. Which road are you on? And the good news is you don't have to guess. You can figure it out right now, just by taking a hard look at what you believe. These right here, these are the signposts. Let's call them mileposts that show you which map you're on. Just ask yourself, how do you really feel about debt? Is it a terrifying trap, or is it a tool you can use? What about your time? Is it just something you trade for a paycheck, or is it the most valuable asset you own? Seriously, your honest answers to these questions are what define your roadmap. And that roadmap is what's defining your financial destination. And that brings us to what might be the single most important point of this whole thing. If you're not happy with where you are financially, just changing what you do isn't enough. It's a start, but it's not the answer. You've got to go deeper. You have to fundamentally change your roadmap, your core beliefs about how wealth actually works. That's it. That's where the real permanent change actually begins. So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with this one thought. The map you've been following up until this moment, whether you consciously chose it or just sort of fell into it, it has brought you to exactly where you are today. But here's the powerful part. You can choose a new map. You can pick a new destination, and you can do it starting right now. So the only real question left is, where do you want to go next?